Welcome to the Business Services Café by ABSL, powered by Brandfizz. My name is Horváth Ádám and I'm going to be your host today. We are here to bring closer to you the thriving business services sector with freshly brewed insights, espresso shot featuring with the most influential leaders of the industry. In each episode, we sit down with top leaders of the business and exploring energizing topics that shape industry landscape. Today, in our episode, our guest is Péter Nagy, head of R&D at Nokia, where he leads the product development department. Péter also serves as the Ombuds Leader. We will talk about what does it mean at Nokia Budapest site. So Péter, thanks for joining us.
Hi Adam, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We are really excited too because our topic today is everyday ethics at work. So I think this will be very interesting. So thanks for being here. So grab your favorite coffee mug, settle in, join us, and blend expert insights and an inspiring conversation. Let's get started. All right, Péter, thanks for being here. Are you ready for some quick espresso shot questions?
I am.
All right. So, how do you typically take your coffee?
I am a big coffee fan. So I usually have
Me
one
too.
or two cappuccinos in the morning
Right.
and yet another one after lunch. I like having discussions over a cup of coffee, and you can see me walking around the office with a coffee mug in my hand.
Tell us a few topics. What are your coffee meetings about?
Yeah, I believe that these coffee meetings are a great way to have some personal and informal discussions with everyone, basically. There is no strict agenda on this one, so topics can vary or range from technical issues to personal experiences, from recent news to concerns about the future. It's all about having an open and honest discussion. I believe that these coffee meetings are a really good way to gain some insight what is happening in the company and how people are doing.
Yeah, and what are your barista level skills in your role? What do you think?
Let me wear my Ombuds Leader hat to answer this question. In that position, my skills, that maybe on barista level are, I would name active listening, where you are really focusing on what other people is trying to say. Be present in the discussion, not to rush to the future and thinking about what you are going to answer to the people or to the person. The second would be empathy, just to make sure that I really understand what the people is or the person would like to say. And the third one, patience, maybe to give enough room and time to the person just to articulate themselves fully.
I really like the third one because the word is super fast and patience. Yeah, we need a lot sometimes.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah. Okay, so what experience have you had throughout creating success in your career? Do you have any example to that?
Let me share one experience that I believe shaped my career quite nicely. I was working as a junior project manager in Austria many years ago, and the project I joined was in deep trouble. Already behind schedule, over budget, massive tension and frustration all over the place.
Sounds serious. If
was.
you are the project manager, these are the bad news.
Yeah, exactly, it was. And I remember one Friday afternoon when I walked to my boss and told him that, hey boss, I believe we have a serious issue with our next week delivery. And I would like to have a proposal for an alternative solution, but I would need your view on that, and we would need to change a bit our plans. And he looked at me and replied, Peter, I don't care about your problems.
Oh.
We cannot change your plans. You have a project team, solve it. If the project is going to fail, that is going to be on you. Well, that was the mood in the project. And it was really shocking to me, actually. But after that, a new senior leader joined the project. He was really an experienced one. And I managed to see firsthand how he turned around the whole project. And actually, there were many factors in this, but the most striking one was that simple things that trust, honestly, respect, how changed the behavior of the complete team. And based on the foundation of these ethical values, then we managed to build a new team actually, or a new teamwork with the help of these values, and turned around the complete project. So that was actually a big learning for me, that one of the most important responsibility of a leader, not just delivering results, but to create a culture that helps the people to deliver results.
Wow, amazing story, and I feel the difference and the whole environment in the room. The first option and the second option, what a big difference, right?
Yeah, it was a big learning experience for me.
Okay, and maybe this is not a surprise that you are in this Ombuds Leader position. Tell us a bit more about your role and why it's important for you personally.
Yeah, so the previous experience taught me that we have to pay attention to these really basic symbols like values and culture. These are things that we every day try to live accordingly. And one of the best proof of it is that Nokia has been named as one of the world's most ethical companies by Ethisphere. They named us 9 times already. Ethisphere is a global organization who are promoting and defining ethical business standards. And this is something that we are really proud of. And based on that, actually, being ethical, it doesn't mean that we have a super status, everything is perfect and no issues at all. It's rather a direction that we take. So being ethical means what do you do or how do you handle the situation when something goes wrong? And that is, I think, more important. So with that one, being ethical is not a really nice state or a status, but it's rather a direction that we take with our everyday actions.
I'm 100% sure that this roadmap contains some policies, but some behavior change. What are the key areas of your role as a Ombuds Leader?
As an Ombuds Leader, we have basically 2 main roles to play in this. First of all, we have to raise awareness in the organization and we have to promote the speak-up culture. Speak-up culture is all about having an environment where people are open to speak up and give feedback if something is wrong, right? If they see an ethical dilemma or witnessed misconduct, then they have to feedback it to the system, and then it gives us a chance to correct quickly and effectively. The second main activity or responsibility as Ombuds Leader is to be there to support anyone who is in this situation. These situations are pretty sensitive and sometimes hard, tough situations, and not easy to navigate through these.
No problem, we have 3 cameras recording, so we are just talking like friends.
Yeah, okay. So we have to be there, actually, in this situation to support the people to navigate through all these challenges. And these are the 2 main roles as an Ombuds Leader.
Sounds very interesting. What does it mean in practice? So have you ever faced with ethical challenges in the work environment? And I understand this is a sensitive topic, but maybe the podcast listeners and the audience gets your point that this is super important on a daily basis and on practical basis as well. So if you can mention a couple of challenges from your career, this would be very helpful for us.
Let me share one of my first ethical dilemma that I had to face as a junior team leader, again, many years ago. I led a small development team, and there was one person, let's call him Laszlo, and I had to see that Laszlo is going through a massive performance drop, and his performance was way under compared to, or below compared to his team members, and also to previous himself as well. And now in this situation, as a team leader, and during personal discussions, I also learned that Laszlo is going through a really massive personal period of time.
Yeah, in his personal life.
Yes, he is under a serious divorce, basically, and that impacted his performance at work. And now came the ethical dilemma. how do I handle this situation? On the first hand, if I manage for performance, then actually that is actually quite fair with the rest of the team. They have to keep up the work, right? Maybe instead of this person as well.
There is no empathy.
There is no empathy. But the other aspect is, if I play for or lean towards empathy, then actually it can sign or signal the wrong message to the rest of the team that lower performance is also acceptable. And how you navigate in this situation. This is not at all easy, and no black and white solution for that.
What was the solution? I'm really curious, because I think all of us had this situation as leaders, and if you are experienced in leadership, this is maybe a daily challenge. Or if you lead leaders, they have these problems on a daily basis. So I receive these type of questions from my leaders. Adam, what to do with this situation? On one hand, performance and corporate deadlines, and on the other hand, there is a human being, a valuable human being. How to balance between? This is a 100% ethical dilemma.
Exactly.
How can we solve this type of problems?
Yeah, at that time I leaned towards empathy. That is not a 100% bulletproof solution, but I felt that maybe this is a bit right or better way to handle the situation. And interestingly, on the long run, it turned out that after Laszlo got over this difficult time of his life, then he became one of the most loyal and well-performing member of the team. And I learned through this experience that maybe I should trust people, and trust can pay off on the long run.
Brilliant. Amazing story. Please tell us about the roadmap. So if someone is watching this episode or listening to this episode, tries to build a roadmap to become a more ethical company, what are the key milestones? How can you get there from a leadership point of view?
Yeah, I believe that building a more ethical company or culture, these are easy words to say, but really hard things to do. But we can make some sense out of it. So I think all starts with clarity. Right? The people has to understand clearly and see clearly what are the core values of the organization that shall drive everyday actions and decisions. And this is where a nice code of conduct can come into play. Right? So we have to have some written reference that lists what are the values that we all share or has to follow in everyday work. But alone, policy on paper or some nice words written into it, this is not going to change anything. So then come leadership into play. Right? So the leadership has to be engaged in this direction, and also they have to play a role model for this. The people will not behave according to how they see it in a policy. They will behave how they see it from their leaders, basically. And that is a bit more harder than creating the policy. But this is still something that we can manage.
How can you measure this? So you mentioned this award you also already won 9 times in a row. This is amazing. So you are one of the world leaders in ethical working environment. How can you measure your performance? Where we are now, there is a pointing system for that, or KPIs. How can you build up a system around ethical measurement or scorecard? I don't know.
Let me maybe go back a bit to the previous topic.
Okay.
Because again, after this leadership time, leadership engagement, there is still, I believe, one point that is important, and that helps also to answer this question. I think after all this happen, we have to make sure that if something goes wrong, then it gets to the system back as a feedback. And that requires open communication and also trust. It's not about having a hotline or a reporting channel where people can report back if they see some misconduct or observe something that is not correct, but they have to trust the system. And they have to believe that their concerns will be taken seriously, and also that they will not or won't face any retaliation. And I think that is the hardest part to execute, to build trust in the employees, that they will really contribute and report if they see something wrong. And this is actually a nice way to measure the efficiency of this system. Do you really get reports, and do you really get feedbacks from the employees? That does it really work, and do they really see? I believe that no one is perfect. I'm not perfect, company is not perfect, now no one is perfect, so there will be problems, and there will be things that goes wrong. The more important part is that to get awareness about these problems and make sure that you can fix it, and then you can fix it quickly and efficiently. I mean, that's maybe how we can measure the system.
Amazing. What can you advise for leaders? So if they are interested, they are listening this episode and they think that, okay, I want to do this. What are your advices focusing on leaders? How to start? Where are the potholes? And how can you build success around ethics as a leader?
I think that is really much depending on the actual status or situation of the given company. So there is no one silver bullet to that. I think the most important part is to start somewhere. It doesn't matter where, but we have to start somewhere. And if you start somewhere and build on that every day and make sure that you are following these really basic values, then it gets better and better. And over time, it will be, I think, a visible result. There will be a visible result.
Is there any success stories you want to share? Because you mentioned a couple of dilemmas and potential solutions, but during your career, what are the success stories in terms of ethics inside the company? From Nokia or maybe your previous experience as well?
Maybe let me share yet another example.
Okay.
We had to face a challenge, something that I call positive challenge, because a new wave of additional work was coming our way. And we saw that the current team, we couldn't handle all this situation.
So there is a bottleneck and
exactly.
big workload.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And we have to scale up the organization, and we have to scale up fast. And we realized that the usual hiring channels will not be working. So we had to do something else. And then we found out the following. We turned to our HR department and asked the list of employees who once worked for Nokia, but not anymore. And we received hundreds of names. And we did a bit of shortlisting, and we tried to reach them one by one with the simple message that, hey, we are growing again. Would you be able, or would you be open to come back?
To rejoin.
Rejoin company, exactly. And some of them told us that, no, not interested, thank you, I'm happy where I am now, of course. But the majority of the people gave us back that, hey, Peter, you know what? I loved working for Nokia, and I'm open to go back. So what do you have? What can you offer?
You mean the majority?
A majority.
Wow.
Yeah. And that experience really stayed with me. It keeps reminding me that people will remember how you treated them, and they will remember how you made them feel, and even many years later. And that is something, the key essence for me about this everyday ethics at work. It's not about policies and processes. It's about making an environment or creating an environment that makes people want to stay or even come back.
It's all about the experience. The experience is the reality. If it's good news for us, it's the reality. If it's a bad news for us, even it's the reality for them.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Before closing, some espresso shots, new questions. So what was your first job ever?
My first job ever was a software developer. I programmed second generation mobile networks. I still love programming, but it's a hobby nowadays only.
All right. What are the coolest perks at your workplace?
I would not pick one item. Maybe I would like to mention two set of items. One set of perks at Cool Place that I think enable personal growth and development. Having opportunities to learn something, to attend trainings, education programs, meetups, organize meetups, go to podcast discussions. So that helps the personal growth and development. The second set of items maybe would be that helps to build community, like team events, team meetings, family days, sport clubs. That helps to feel that I belong to a community. I would mention these two perks.
Really cool. What is your favorite part of the work week and why?
Monday morning, yeah, definitely.
Actually, my 9-year-old son said this week that, hey, father, I really love this Monday. It will be an amazing day. And I asked him why. I don't know. And I said, this is the right attitude.
Yeah.
Monday is amazing. We don't know why, but it will be amazing. Okay, so what is your favorite part of the week?
Maybe I would not mention any specific part of the week. I would put it that way, that I love those moments in a week when I feel that I'm truly alive and I feel that I'm close to something that really matters. Let it be a project challenge, or let it be jogging around Margaret Island, or having some quality time with my family.
Okay, please describe your perfect work day in 3 words.
Having fun,
Okay.
making difference, and building connection, maybe over a cup of coffee.
It was a double branded answer. Connection and coffee. Thank you. Before we close the discussion, I would like to ask you to sum up somehow as a conclusion. What is the most important lesson for you from this episode and from this topic, ethical workplace? What is the key message?
I would go back to the previous story that I mentioned. It's not about policies, processes. It's not about having a nice ethical values on the wall. It's all about the people. It's all about an environment that helps to make the people stay and make them want to stay and maybe come back if needed.
Very good closing sentence. Peter, it was great to have you here in this podcast. So thank you very much for the valuable insights and the learnings. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam.
And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe. Please share, give us a review, comment. Please help us to spread the word in social media, and stay tuned for the next expert conversation. And we will bring to you the news from the whole business services industry in Hungary. Until then, take care.